welcome back to the channel. And oh my gosh, we have an episode of a petty drama. And we're talking about Married at First Sight, Australia, episode number 23. So we're going to unpack all of this drama in a minute. But before we do, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, set your notifications to all so you'll get notified every time I post. Also, if you like the video, smash that like button and drop a comment down in the comment section below. So, after episode 22, we left off with all of the petty drama, the back and forth between Domenica, Carolina, and also Olivia. And yeah, messy isn't the half of it. Then the biggest thing is what we saw with Domenica breaking that glass. It was crazy. But let's kind of get these other couples out of the way. So in today's episode with Al and Samantha, remember, Samantha is not happy with Al right now. He's just too immature for her and not what she's looking for. So he decided to write a poem for her, which she liked it. She liked the rose. She accepted it. But at the same time, I don't even think it made a dent in what she was thinking or any change in her mind on the direction she's going to go with Mr. Al. Now, Al, in his mind, thinks, you know what? I made progress. But looking at Sam's face, I'm not too sure of that at all. I got to get a boy an A for effort. I mean, he got to stop doing the shoeies and, body slamming tables and all of that stuff. I mean, dude, you are a whole husband. You can't be doing that in front of your wife. So no wonder she's feeling the way that she's feeling. However, I am going to give credit where credit is due because Al has been putting in the work. I mean, the man actually know how to cook, wash clothes, and iron his own clothes. We did get to see proof of that. The receipts are in the previous videos. So he definitely has been making strides, which I am happy to see of Mr. Al. So I don't know if this is enough to give him some brownie points with Sam up until this point. I think she checked out after she did the whole VIP passes movie thing and talked to her parents, and they kind of woke her up and shook her back into her own reality. So I don't know where that's going to go, but we'll have to keep watching and see. But I don't think he made progress too much with that rose and the poem. Let's move on to another couple. So next up, we got Brent and Tamara. And Tamara is still not happy about the fact that she got that little token of affection from her husband, and it had her, Mrs., taking his last name. And she wants to move a little bit slower versus the fact of seeing herself as his wife. And as I said in episode 22 recap, what was she thinking? Sign up to be married at first sight. You have a whole husband. Why didn't you take his last name? Anywho, so at the retreat, as everybody else was socializing as a couple, Tamara was completely avoiding Brent. And Brent is pretty much like, what the heck is going on? I mean, she's not talking to me. She's not avoiding me. And so they did have a conversation, but it looked like it almost turned into an argument because Tamara was feeling, I guess, I don't know, not wanting to take accountability because she was being very distant with Brent at the retreat. But, at the end of this whole conversation, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I mean, he's pretty much lost at this point because he's like, nothing he can do right for Miss Tamara, but Tamara's checked out. I mean, she's not interested, and I think the kicker was giving her his last name on that gift he gave her. So it definitely kind of awakened her thoughts to like, oh my God, I'm actually married to this guy. And I'm like, Tamara, oh my God, yes you are, because this is what you signed up for. So let's move on. So now we got Dion and, of course, Carolina. And Carolina is strategically trying to not just tell him they don't have anything in common. She's going to show him they don't have anything in common. And one of those things is exercising and going for a run and a walk. Now, she approaches him saying, you know what, I want to do something with you today. Why don't you come with me and we'll go for a run? Now, she knows definitely Dion does not run or do any type of physical exercise with regards to walking or running. But then, of course, she knows that he's going to say, no, I don't do that. You know I don't do that. Now, I do find interesting that he says, well, how about let's play chess? Now, you know that girl don't play chess. Bottom line, they should have just left at the last commitment ceremony because they truly don't have a lot in common. And that's what you try to do when you force a round circle into a square hole. It's not working. It's not working. I don't know why they stayed together. And even to build a friendship as what they described it as, no, they're not friends. And they probably won't leave this experience as friends, especially when we find out what's going on with her. Well, we already know. But when they find out what's going on with her and ex-groom Daniel. But anyway, she knew what she was doing. I mean, if you know your guy doesn't eat breakfast, if he doesn't work out, but then you say, hey, let's have a breakfast together, or how about let's just go for a run, you know what that response is going to be. And then you say, oh, you don't want to work with me. You don't want to compromise. I'm trying to work with you. You're not putting things on the table that you both enjoy. She knows what she's doing. But that definitely is her doing what she is doing. She's trying to pretty much manipulate this situation. Therefore, she'll look like the good person and that she tried, when in actuality, she knew what the outcome was going to be. And she is the focal point of this entire dramatic explosion that's happening at this retreat. Let's talk about that right now. So, of course, being that this whole Dion and Carolina is the issue, especially coming off the last commitment ceremony, that triggers this whole thing from the previous night with both Domenica and Olivia. And of course, Olivia is giving her side of the story, saying that she not only broke the glass, she was waving it around. So when they finally do get to sit down outside together, we hear her with Domenica sitting at the table talking about, where's the cyanide, I think she said. And then also, of course, we know how Domenica is feeling. It's just a hot mess. Now, we do see her apologizing for her actions. However, this is definitely prompting Olivia to dig in her heels even deeper. You know, saying that every time she used the word but, it eliminates everything in front of that. Technically, that is true. But in this case, she was using it, it seems, in a very petty and disingenuous way of trying to rebut her apology. Now, do I see both of these women, either one over the other? Because I know that some of you guys are Team Dom. And then there are a couple of people who is happy that Olivia called her out too. I think they're both being very immature and petty. Now, granted, Domenica tends to call people out on their bad behavior, but a lot of people feels that she's overstepping boundaries. Olivia is trying to give Domenica a taste of her medicine because she thinks that she can dish it, but she can't take it. But at the same time, Olivia is also doing a lot of lying and trying to shape the situation because she broke the glass. She was not waving it around like a weapon. And of course, everybody, and I'm surprised, except for Ella. Ella was sticking up for Domenica, whereas the other women just pretty much sat back. So I don't know if this was orchestrated drama. I said that in my comments in my original episode posting, but honestly, both of them seem like they have traumas. We remember Olivia saying that she had trauma in the beginning because of her weight issue, and then of course she had a lot of weight loss and She had people bullying her. And then we also hear Domenica also had history where people bully her as well. They triggered each other. They triggered each other. Now, the thing is, I got to give credit to Domenica for apologizing, whereas with Olivia, she really dug in her heels. I think both of them need to go to a corner and cool off. Now, let's talk about what happened after that whole interaction. Now, because of the fact that Olivia was just, she was raining hell and brimstone on this whole situation, Jackson saw another side of her that he did not like. And he went in talking about, this is not what I'm used to. If this is who you are, I don't know if I can move forward with this. And that's understandable because you've seen your wife being pretty much quiet and, saying nothing pretty much the whole season, to her talking about everything from cyanide, okay, and cutting up brides' dresses in her past. It was so over the top. That's why I was like, I don't know if I could believe this or she just landed on really thick. But, at the end of the day, it did affect Jackson. And Jackson is trying to tell her, like, look, you need to take it down a notch. I understand you might be feeling some kind of way about Domenica, her calling people out, her being loud. But at the same time, that don't mean you got to step outside of yourself and act a fool. And that's pretty much what she was doing. That's why I said on both sides of this thing, there was some mess and some drama. She shouldn't be breaking glasses. And Olivia being manipulative and lying and embellishing the story. Both of them need to be in timeout. Seriously. Now, in regards to Jackson, that triggered an emotional response out of Olivia because she said that the only person that really counts in this whole experiment is you. And between him and Jack, I'm wondering how are they able to, because that's got to be an awakening for Jackson. And then for Jack, he's been going up and down with Domenica because not only once, but twice has she pretty much thrown him under the bus and put him on blast in front of other people. So she has to take accountability in front of her behavior. Sometimes things don't need to be said. They need to be said to the appropriate people. Seriously. So, as much as people want to give credit to one side over the other, there's a lot across the board that both these ladies need to be held accountable for. It is what it is. And in this case, Jackson definitely held her accountable to put a little bit of fear that says, like, you know what, if this is who you are, I don't know if I want to deal with this. And he have every right to say that. So we'll see how it works out with everything. But this went a little bit left in the end. But we can't forget about this interaction between this other couple. Let's talk about them. So there was a very interesting interaction between Kate and Matt. Now, they decided to have a little hot tub action. And if you mean basically sitting across from each other, talking as action between those two, okay, fine. So I guess he wanted to kind of build some rapport and get some little fun time with her. And she was actually open to it. She actually mentioned how Matt is a sweet guy and I need to listen to the experts because I do need to show a little bit more and try to work and see how the process goes between her and her husband. I was actually shocked. But do I think it was a breakthrough? Nope, not yet. But, if you want to call that a little bit of movement because she actually gave him a hug. Really? And that just absolutely made his day. He was playing with her feet. The interesting thing is Kate allowed him to play with her feet. And that definitely put a smile on Matt's face. He was happier than happy could be. So, I don't know. Maybe not. But, I think the probability of more is maybe not. So, we'll have to see. But overall, this whole episode was the petty as petty can get. mostly on Olivia's side. And it was a little disturbing too, because like I said, when she kept bringing up things like cyanide and cutting brides' dresses, and I can be a horrible person. Yeah, I really can be. That's not a good sign. Now, whether this was over the top orchestrated drama for audience purposes and entertainment only, okay, fine, but it's definitely not going to be a good look overall, especially when the fans are seeing this as who she may really be. But we'll definitely have to see after the season, the upcoming episodes. And hey, I'm looking forward to it. But it was a crazy episode. Let me know your thoughts. Sound off in the comment section, because I know you guys got a lot to say. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you soon. Bye.